Good morning and welcome to another episode of Drew's Book Reviews. Today's book review is going to be on Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. So this book is the fourth one in the whole Red Rising saga. So it's the second book in the, or first book in the second trilogy from Red Rising. Now, important thing to first establish is the world of Red Rising here. So, what this is, it's a futuristic society at a time when the solar system has been fully colonized by mankind. So, this takes place approximately in the year 2800, so something like 800 years from now. Society has been divided into this caste system, divided by color, with each color having its different roles within society. We've got the golds, who are right up there at the very top of society. They are the masters. They have all the power and the control and the influence. And then we have the reds, which are on the very, very bottom of society. They're the slave class, and they are the most oppressed by the gold rulers of this society. So we have our main character, Darrow, who he started his life as a red until he was physically altered to become to at least appear, if not by birth, as a gold, in which he infiltrated the upper classes society and eventually turned around and started the rebellion to overthrow the entire system and establish a republic. So that's kind of what happened in the first three books. Very, very brief synopsis of where Iron Gold comes from. So this basically takes place a decade later, a decade after the uprising, and Darrow was now the arch imperator of the Republic. He is basically a warlord. He is controlling the war efforts and trying to bring this republic and establish this democratic society throughout the entire solar system. Uh, so in this book, he has gone basically rogue. He has gone and destroyed Venus, launched a massive assault without the authorization of the Republic in an effort to wipe out and destroy the Ash Lord. The Republic is not very happy with this because they've been trying to negotiate peace with the Ash Lord. And Darrow seems to have basically destroyed all hope for that with this action. He is now a fugitive on the run from the very government that he helped establish. And so that's kind of where we get to in this point as far as Iron Gold goes. Now, the book is kind of, it's written from the perspective of multiple different characters, with each chapter being from a different character's viewpoint. So essentially, we've got Lysander. He was a gold by birth. He's an independent trader now, and from Mars, he's out in the outer rim of the solar system. However, he finds himself being captured and imprisoned after doing a daring rescue out in the outer rim, and he kind of gets embroiled in the politics of the outer rim until eventually he finds himself joining forces with them in order to bring war to the inner solar system. So, kind of, I don't want to give too much away as far as spoilers, so I won't get into too much detail. But that's kind of the perspective and storyline that we have from Lysander. In the meantime, we talked a little bit about Darrow. He's been removed from his position of power and authority in the military. He has basically gone rogue, and he is on his way to destroy the Ash Lord. Of course, throughout this process and time, he soon discovers the truth about what has really happened, what has really gone on with the Ash Lord, who the Ash Lord is, and just the truth he never expected to be. Things were very different than anything he could have expected. So, again, don't want to get into too much detail. Don't want to do any spoilers there. And then there's Ephraim. He is basically this freelance thief. He ends up being contracted by this crime syndicate and crime lord called the Duke of Hands to kidnap some very, very important prizes, namely Darrow's son, along with Serval's daughter. So Serval being one of the Howlers, I believe it was. they are they're important people. They are important kids. They are noble children, and he has become contracted to basically kidnap them as a power play by the crime lord Duca Hans and the crime syndicate. And then we have Lyria. She's a red that lived in what was referred to as Camp 121 on Mars. After the people were freed from the Martian mines during the uprising. However, uh, her camp is attacked by a terrorist organization. Nearly everyone's killed. She loses her family. Just herself and her nephew survive. Um, and she ends up saving a person by the name of Cavex from Telemanus from drowning, and as a result, she is taken into his household. But she is eventually used as a tool, essentially, to lead Ephraim to the children that he's looking to kidnap, as he's been contracted by the crime lord to do so. So she gets caught up in all this too. And just overall, I have to say, as far as the book itself goes, I did enjoy it absolutely. It, at some points, it was a bit slow for me, but overall, I think it was a good book. It's an enjoyable book. I love the setting that has been set up with this futuristic society and the colonization of the solar system. I mean, it's pretty much everywhere. The moons of Jupiter have been colonized. The inner planets of Mercury and Venus have somehow been colonized. And just this futuristic cast says so. Kind of taken this idea of a caste tyranny and dictatorship, um, and how it's being overthrown by the slave class, put into a futuristic setting, and all around. The Rising books are really, really good. I'm really enjoying them. I think Pierce Brown has put together quite an awesome story with this, and I think it is definitely well worth the read overall. And and I wouldn't say it's the best science fiction out there, but it's definitely not a bad series of books. And definitely, I do look forward to reading more by Pierce Brown, more of his books, more Red Rising. There are, of course, some other ones coming out that I'll have to look at getting, but overall, really enjoying it, and I'd definitely say it is worth reading. And of course, as always, don't forget to stay tuned as we will be picking up Rick Riordan's Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. The Hammer of Thor will be coming up next. Do want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you thought. Those are just some of my thoughts on Iron Gold specifically. And as always, links to my social media profiles will be in the description below. And of course, don't forget to check out the Pierce Brown playlist on this channel, where you can see my thoughts on the other books in the Red Rising universe. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. We will see you next time on the next episode of Drew's Book Reviews. Until then, bye.